Yeah, well, first, Trump looked tiny yesterday. He looked like a very little man. And that has got to be bugging him. The other thing that's really interesting about this is, yes, there are real consequences to a government shutdown. Elon Musk doesn't understand that. He thinks a government shutdown is great. He thinks we should shut down the government entirely until Donald Trump becomes president. Obviously, real people are hurt. Millions of real people are hurt.
And Trump is just ruining America. Hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Hello, this is Rachel.
Hello, Rachel. It's Elon Musk.
What do you want?
I just wanted to find out which desk is yours.
Why do you want to know that? Are you stalking me? Help! Police!
I just wanted to tell Joe Rogan where his desk was.
What?
You're fired.
No!
So, needless to say, I know you're all incredibly shocked by this. But MSNBC is not happy with Elon Musk, especially after he killed the spending bill the other day that was full of pork. It was going to be a terrible thing for the American people, especially for the concept of government efficiency that Elon Musk is so obsessed with. But it's very interesting because I think at the same time, MSNBC, largely speaking, is obsessed with Elon Musk. And obviously right now, it's totally fair to talk about him because he's kind of spearheading, he's important in the news. But if you turn on MSNBC for a brief moment, I would say there's almost a 50% chance that the segment they run these days is about Elon Musk, which is very strange, right? Because Trump, hey, I thought they hate Trump so much, and now all it is like Elon. Elon's the shadow president. Elon secretly running the country, blah, 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 blah. It's very interesting. You got to question to some degree why they are saying this type of stuff. I'll give you my theory in a second. I actually think it's very nefarious why the mainstream media is giving so much limelight to Elon Musk and not to Donald Trump. And it has nothing to do with Elon, but it has to do with the fact that the MSM is trying to sabotage the second Trump administration. We'll get more into that in a second. First, folks, we are coming to you live from Turning Point USA's America Fest 2024 right here on Media Row, and some great content to come in the next few days. We've got some interviews, but for today, I want to show you the ridiculous segment that MSNBC ran in response to Elon threatening to potentially trigger a government shutdown, not himself, but you know what I mean, if we do not clean up our ridiculous and wasteful spending, despite Republicans having control of the House of Representatives. So here you go on that.
First of all, let's not lose sight of the real implications if the government does shut down, people who will not be paid just before the holidays. We also should note about
Okay, so right off the gate, let me just say, I hear this rhetoric all the time when there's a government shutdown, especially when it's caused by Trump, right? I remember that the first time where, Trump is doing a government shutdown because he wants border security. What about the federal employees? How are they going to survive? They're not going to get paid this month. And it's like, look, to some degree, you do have to have human empathy for them in any of these situations. But at the same time, can we be totally realistic about this? I don't know if this is cruel or not to say. First of all, most of the bureaucrats who are currently talking about, how will they be paid? They're useless. They don't do anything. Sorry, is that bad? Is that bad to say? Okay. But, that's number one there. Number two, they always get back pay. Every single time there's a government shutdown, they do back pay for the federal employees. But thirdly, where was this sympathy when they did that to millions of Americans in a year called 2020? Remember that? And let me tell you, that shutdown of the private sector, of normal people, was much longer than a couple weeks, than a month. And in many cases, people did not get back pay. In many cases, people lost their entire livelihoods. In many cases, things never came back. So just saying, they always do this. It's just, we'll live, okay? The country, as it turns out, can function without a lot of these useless bureaucracies, hence maybe vindicating an argument that Elon Musk has long made. So
how this seems to be offering a preview of what's to come. And this talk of a unified Republican government, well, right now it seems like it's just a recipe for more chaos.
Yeah, well, first, Trump looked tiny yesterday. He looked like a very little man. And that has got to be bugging him big time. He not only had to follow Musk's lead, he then couldn't deliver
your ratings at the current moment are tiny. That's got to be bugging you.
Votes at a time when he's trying to convince everyone there's a massive mandate for him and everybody wants to be his friend. And then, whoops, the brakes got put on. The other thing that's really interesting about this is, yes, there are real consequences to a government shutdown. Elon Musk doesn't understand that. He thinks the government shutdown is great. He thinks we should shut down the government entirely until Donald Trump becomes president. Obviously, real people are hurt. Millions of real people are hurt by that. But here's the train wreck that's...
And suddenly that matters to you? Suddenly, like, working class people matter to you? Just saying. Okay, notice how they only care when it's like government bureaucrats who are without work. When people in the private sector are without work, which is most of America, by the way, okay, because of COVID lockdowns that Democrats supported, they wanted it for like 2-3 years. Okay, look, keep shutting down. We can't go back to work. It's too dangerous. No sympathy. They don't care about those people. When working and middle class people across the entire country are crushed by inflation, they say it's not real. But oh no, the government employees are going to have to wait like a couple weeks to a month for their paychecks to come, and they're not actually going to lose any money in the process. Cry me a freaking river. Again, like I'm done with this. I don't care. It's do what you have to do, but you are not going to be able to guilt trip me with this concept of government shutdown. In fact, I think it'd be a great marketing opportunity for the Department of Government Efficiency to show people that actually my life has not changed. Wow. Turns out I don't need the Department of, I don't know, like anything, right?
I mean, here's the deal. You got 40 Republicans that have never voted, or around 40, that have never voted to extend the debt limit without spending cuts. And Trump is against spending cuts. Elon Musk thinks he's going to do all these spending cuts. Donald Trump doesn't want spending cuts. He blew the deficit up. He loves to spend money. He loves debt. He thinks debt is the way to success. He doesn't care about the debt. So he said last night, after his failure, do not do a deal without extending the debt limit all the way till after my next term. So there's going to be a train wreck here between Elon Musk, who thinks he's going to cut $2 trillion out of the deficit, out of the budget, and Donald Trump, who frankly could give a rat's you know what about cutting any spending.
You know what I think, though, guys? And the reason I said, okay, why is MSNBC so obsessed with Elon Musk? They kind of gave it away in that segment, did they not? And this is something that Patrick Bet-David actually brought up before the election, which was that I think what the media is going to try to do. And notice how they use that rhetoric. He's the shadow president. How many times have you heard that? Elon's the real president. He's really in charge. You know, it's like, you know, I think I've heard a lot of characters out there today referring to him as President Musk. The whole point is to piss Trump off and create a wedge between them, create division. Why? Because they're hoping that, you know, knowing that Trump is a guy, obviously, who likes to be the alpha. He likes to be the number one. And I'm not the one who came up with this theory. Okay, Patrick Bet-David, this is what he said, but I think it's totally true. Knowing that that's the way Trump operates, how much do you think it would get under his skin for the media to constantly be saying, President Musk, he's the shadow president, he's upstaging Trump, right? He's the puppet in charge of Trump, whatever. How much do you think that could potentially train wreck the relationship to the point where Trump, and this is what they're trying to hope, right? This is what they're trying to make happen. I'm not saying it will. I hope that cooler heads prevail. I hope Trump doesn't fall victim to it, but definitely they're going to be chirping in his ear a lot about this to try to get Trump to say, I'm the alpha. I'm the one really in charge. Next thing you know, there's a falling out. It'll get nasty. It probably will be bad. It will objectively get worse for the American people because, you know, if Elon Musk and people around him leave Trump's orbit, who's going to come back in? The neocons, right? John Bolton's going to come back like, oh, welcome back, Mr. President. You know, Mike Pompeo, all those characters. So that's not what we want to see. But that's definitely what they're trying to do. And that's something like I think, guys, you got to be very careful about. Got to keep a very close eye on. Again, the media is doing this stuff. They are so obsessed with Elon Musk because they know what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get under Trump's skin, drive a wedge between them, using this concept that they're both kind of alphas, but especially Trump is someone who wants to kind of be at the center of the spotlight. Hey, let's give Elon Musk the spotlight. That'll get under Trump's skin. And, you know, eventually Trump's going to lash out, won't he? Won't he? Well, we'll see. Because honestly, I think the counter argument, and in Trump's defense, I think I saw in the 2024 election that he has really learned a lot from the mistakes of the past. And he has a lot of smart people around him now, I think, especially that obviously steer him in the right direction on policy grounds. But even then, you have someone like a Susan Wiles who knows the right times to rein Trump in, right? So hopefully, I hope, this time around, we won't have that issue, but definitely going to be something to watch for because the media is 100% going to try to do this. And I just hope they don't succeed. But we'll find out ultimately, guys. We'll find out. But with that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, God bless and peace.